Sorry. Hold on just a second. Good night, Gracie. I love you. She's like, hold on, don't start the recording yet. I don't care if people know that I'm saying goodnight to my kid. It's weird for me because it used to be me going up and tucking them in and sitting with them until they go to sleep, and now I'm like, see you later.
I still tuck mine in. What are you talking about?
So mine are not so much about it anymore. I wouldn't mind. I used to fall asleep with them sometimes.
Oh, my daughter will not go to bed unless I tuck her in.
Really? Wow.
And she goes to bed every night at 8 o'clock.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Okay. My guys are night owls. I can't believe Grace is getting ready to go to bed right now. Wow, we're getting all kinds of folks. Hey, Miss Heather Lambert.
I know. Jill and Kat and Hannah. Wow, look at
Hey,
all the
Jill.
people here.
I love it. I love it. If I start sneezing, it's just because I have allergies. Joelle and I will sometimes talk in the morning, and she's like, are you sick? You sound sick. And usually it's just my allergies. It'll clear up.
I finally bought more allergy medicine, too.
Mm-hmm.
So I have cold medicine and allergy medicine now. Woo-hoo.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what's going on? I have a PowerPoint that we can go through, but I want to find out what's going on.
I have a question for Joelle.
What's that?
Do you have heat?
We do. I even have it on 70. I'm just super
Okay,
cold.
just checking.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a great story too. I have someone up here who did a party with me. I'm trying to think of how I came across. Oh, I met her at an event this summer. She did a party with me, and then one of her customers needed light bulbs, but she didn't necessarily know I was the consultant, so accidentally contacted me, or maybe she found out from the person, I don't know, but I didn't know. So she messaged me on Facebook, and she's like, can I get bulbs from you? And I'm like, of course you can. And so anyway, so tonight she just was like, oh, can I stop by now? And so here I am. I've got this on and I got my hat on. She comes by to get bulbs in a catalog, and so she like literally popped over. And so I went running outside because Lucy, my attack dog, but she barks like crazy. So I ran outside to meet her. And as I'm running outside to grab the other light bulb out of my truck and to hand her the stuff, I realized what I'm wearing. And I'm like, here I am meeting this person, like one of the very few customers I have in this area for the very first time. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, crap. I look like, I'm bundled up to, like, I don't know, hike Mount Katahdin in the winter. And of course I pretend like nothing. Hi, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. Here's your catalog and here's your little sample. And I'm like, oh my God. In my head, I'm like, oh my God, she must think I'm a nut job. And she actually just lives down the road from me, because when we were messaging, I said, oh, I can meet you at the general store. That's how we talk up here. And she goes, well, I ride home with my husband and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, where do you live? And I'm like, oh, I live here. And she goes, I live down the road from you. But she must have thought I was insane.
I don't think so. I think you look cute.
Yeah, I look cute.
You look like you live in Maine.
Uh-huh.
I'm surprised you don't have like your swimsuit on just for good measure tonight, Heather.
It was chilly today. It got all the way down to the 70s.
Whatever.
She's evil.
I even had to put on my Scentsy sweatshirt to go to the bus this morning.
Yeah.
I'm making these.
Oh, yay! Did I send
it.
you those, or did you find them on your own?
It's on the Believers and Achievers page.
Okay,
What
good.
is it?
So it's backwards, obviously, but it's sort of like a mini drawing slip. It says, text a picture of this slip filled out completely to be entered in my monthly drawing. So I'm going to be sticking those, one, in all my orders now, because duh. And now that I've printed a bunch, I thought, well, I need to copy this and say, because at the bottom it says interested in earning free and half price by hosting, but I need to add another line that says interested in earning extra money and have that on there too. So I have to figure that out. But in all of my orders, in all my basket parties, and I was thinking while I was sitting here, like, what am I going to do? I need to do something. I have a bunch of neighbors that we've kind of been friendly, say hi. Some of them I know their names, some of them I don't. But, you know, when you walk by, it's just like, oh, hi there, how are you today? But I'm going to I have a ton of brochures and holiday flyers from my fundraiser, and I'm going to make little gift bags and say, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, here's a little present. I also stocked up on scent circles with my fundraiser, so I'm going to give them a little present down my street and just say hi and put a little slip, and who knows.
Who knows?
That's how I found Tabitha.
Funny you mentioned that, Heather, because I printed some of those off last night too, thinking that I'd put them in with my orders and stuff too.
Who knows? And then you start getting text messages, and now I've got all my customers in my phone.
Oh, that certainly would be easy.
Somebody's brilliant. It wasn't me.
Wasn't me. I found it from somebody else. I'm like, that is great. So I just like to hold on to nuggets like that.
Somebody named Tracy. I had to change her name and phone number.
Yeah.
Whoever she is, I should have texted her. Thanks for the slip,
Was
Tracy.
her number on there?
Yeah, I need to text her and say thank you.
I think that would be so cool.
That would be awesome. We all should do that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna text her.
Hi,
It's
Zach.
on the file on the Believers and Achievers page. Everybody go text her saying, thank you so much. These are wonderful.
That's
You're
awesome.
so smart.
Hi, Zach.
Hi.
All right. That's weird. My phone is like pinging. Oh. Babe, can you be me? I'll be right back. So Ron is my partner in crime, and when I'm doing one thing, I ask him to be me. So if I'm driving, I ask him to be me. If I'm in the shower, I ask him to be me, because then I don't have to get back to people, and if he doesn't know the answer, he'll ask. So, but usually he knows the answer. Betty, how you doing? She's like, oh, she's listening to somebody. I thought she was looking for flies up on the ceiling. She's going to shoot me. All right. So thank you for joining us.
Get that.
Huh? Say that again.
He's trying to get the DVD player to work. So he's like, how do you switch it over to the TV?
Push the button.
Because when you're doing it,
That's how you do it.
Push the button.
Push the button.
yeah, we just can't figure out which one.
And if it doesn't work, push it again.
Push them all.
So it's usually an input
Push
button.
them all.
Mr. Grumpy Pants.
Oh, you're the one who thinks.
Wow.
No one said go on it.
Holy call, Brian.
I was asking how to do it. Try to press.
That's what I'm doing.
Not
Okay.
me. I was telling her to press it.
Bless her. Isn't it awesome being a mom? There's awesome times when it's way good, and there's awesome times when you just wish you weren't for just a half a second. Or sometimes I'll say, and I know my mother did this, you just wait till you grow up. You just wait till you have kids of your own, and this is going to happen, and I'm going to just smile and nod. Smile and nod. Yeah. Okay. So I have a question. Who has events this weekend?
I have a party,
You have a party? Yay!
a birthday party,
Woohoo!
and I'm gonna play this game.
Oh, hold on.
I have a 2-day event.
Yay! A 2-day event for Jill. Okay, so you're gonna play the Saran Wrap game?
Saran wrap game. Do you know that game?
I do. Tell them though.
Okay, so somebody gets the ball, and then you have 2 dice, and the person in front of me has to roll the dice, and when they get doubles, they get to feel the ball. And when you get the ball, you try to unwrap it. And inside are goodies. So there's some little pieces of candy, and there's some samples of wax, and there is some of my Scentsy pens. There's a couple of like pineapple sticky note pads. There is 1 cent circle, and in the very middle there's a bar of wax. So we're gonna unwrap and pass and have fun.
And when you're creating it, do you use all the same piece, or what? How do you make it so that it's hard?
So you rip pieces. So you start with a ball, and then you wrap what you want, and then you wrap again, and then you pull another piece and wrap. Then you wrap a lot, and then you wrap a little bit, and then you wrap a lot, and then I just kept going and tearing it off, and then added some more, and I did a whole 200 yards of saran wrap.
Holy smokes!
It might take a little while.
That's okay.
I think it'll be fine. Well, the idea is you start pulling, and then somebody rolls doubles, and they steal it from you. And now I gotta find the end and keep going. And as they unroll, things will start falling off of it, and they'll win prizes. I
That's
wanted it to be just fun because it's the 3rd party with this group of people in 3 months, and it's her birthday. So just wanted it to be fun.
That's awesome. And it is good to try to think up some different fun games
Yeah.
when you're partying with the same group.
Yeah, so it's fun, and
Oh,
so she's not having it at her house. She's having it at Tammy's house, and Tammy hosted the party first, and Tammy's daughter-in-law joined. So Tammy's daughter-in-law is Destiny. She's on our team now, and so Destiny. So they all like to buy from Destiny and support her in her business, and I didn't want to take a lot away from that, but Leah wanted to have her birthday party, and she wanted to have it at Tammy's house. So it's really all the same kind of group of people. So I'm just going to take all my discontinued warmers and discontinued scents that nobody can order anyway, and play some games and just have fun. So
Nice.
we'll see how it
So
goes.
it's a Scentsy party, but it's a birthday party Scentsy party.
Right.
So it's a theme party.
Yes.
I love it.
And everybody will want her to have a good birthday, so
I love it.
there you go.
So someone at my last, I think it was my last party, we were there, and she was sad because there were only 3 people that came. Her daughter, her aunt, and her boss. And she kept saying how sad she was. She had a ton of food because that's what they do in their family. The people that came brought food too. And I said, her name was Lisa. I said, Lisa, we have a good time. It doesn't matter how many people are here. We have a good time. And, I'm getting ready to close that party tomorrow. And when I left her, it was over $400 with those 3 people. So
Yeah.
certain that she will get it up to $500. And yeah, so while I was there, she said, you know what? We have such a good time together. When I have my bridal shower, can I have a Scentsy party bridal shower? I said, of course, we'll have a good time. Yeah.
That'll
So
be fun. I did a party once for a girl. So this is a group of girlfriends. They get together every month. And one of the girls had a house fire, and she lost her house. And they all love Scentsy anyway. So one of the other girls decided to host a Scentsy party, but she wanted all the host rewards to go to the girl who lost her house in the fire, because she needed new Scentsy. All her warmers and everything were all done. And there's no flame, so, you need Scentsy. And so they all bought her Scentsy, plus all the rewards went to her. She had bags and bags of Scentsy. It was ridiculous. It was crazy.
that's amazing.
Yeah, it was fun though.
I love it.
Yeah.
Kat, I want a cookie. Don't you wish we could do that? One day, maybe. I love it.
Yes, I wish we could. I'd gladly share because I don't need them all. They're snickerdoodles.
Oh, I
Snickerdoodles
love
are
snickerdoodles.
delicious.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Yay. Now, this is interactive. So if we go off in a different direction, I was just sitting down thinking about things that might be good to share. I've had some questions lately, and I know I've heard Heather and Joelle say, when people are asking me questions, I know that I need to share that with everybody, because usually when one person needs to know it, many people need to know it. And I've had some new people lately and some returning people, and that reminds me that while I am going about my business, doing my thing, everybody sometimes forgets what they do. So some of the things that will be kind of back to basics, but sometimes we make things more difficult than they need to be. So this is what we're going to chat about tonight. So recognition, back to basic tips, what's working, what are you working towards, some leadership, what is your balance, expanding your network, and miscellaneous. And again, if there's something that we need to talk about, this is your meeting as much as it's my meeting. So let's chat. So for recognition, we have some folks that have grown their Scentsy business this month. And so Alyssa, you know what? I am bad with names. So I'm going to say their first name and not their last name. So Alyssa, Chelsea, Jade, Ron and I, Pam, Becca, and Todd and Hannah. Yay, Hannah was here. I think she's still here. Congratulations to everyone who's grown your business this month. I got to tell you how my person came about. So my person, because it's not something that I typically do. My person I've known for a long time. She's told me for a long time that she wants to join. And this fall, August, she was going to join. September, she was going to join. October, she was going to join. And so November, she still hasn't joined. And finally, I said to her, hey, you need to join. You need to do this because I could use your help. And this is a great time for you to get your business going. So it's not all about me, but I had to let her know that I needed her to do me a favor, and I wanted to help her with sponsoring. And I know this might sound odd, so I said, you know me, I work towards the Scentsy trip every single year. Mind you, I've known this person for 26 years. I work towards this Scentsy trip every single year, and one of the things that I need to do to get points is I need to sponsor people. And so I would really love for you to take the plunge and join. And she said, okay, what do I need to do? And that's all it took. Was it needed to not just be a reason for her to put it off into the background. She needed a little push to get her going, to say, all right, now's the time. So not would I do that all the time? No, but sometimes people need to know what you're working towards so they can help you, because people love to help you. Hannah, I'm going to call you out if that's okay.
That's fine.
Y'all have been on this recognition board a lot for sponsoring. So what do you have to share with us?
Believe it or not, Mel, a lot of it has been done through events. Like Tiana and Jake, I got at the Skowhegan Fair. Jen Doyle, I met her 2 weeks ago at an event, and I'm actually
that Skowhegan Fair is pretty cool.
Yeah, and then I was at an event last weekend in Westbrook, and I actually have been working with another person who wants to join, so I'm hoping I can get her joined up soon. And then I have one other person that I'm working on who's on the fence, but it's basically just showing them how much fun they can have with Scentsy. And I talked to a lot of them about what they wanted out of it. And it's just Todd and I have really been focusing on sponsoring more than we've been on selling, and trying to help our recruits get to certified and, hit that shooting star and sensational start, as much as possible, but also not being too pushy. Like the lady I was talking to today, actually, she told me that she had tried messaging another consultant and she had been waiting and nobody got back to her. So I said, here's my contact information. Here's my card. I said, message me. So I got her email yesterday and I messaged her back because she, I said, do you have any questions or anything? And then, back and forth because I really want to do this. She goes, I'm not sure when I want to start. I'll let you know that I'm not going to, I don't want to push you into joining. I said, but I'm just going to let you know these are some things to learn. And I said, now's the time, to join because it is Christmas. You could get a lot of people to buy for Christmas presents and get your business up and running now. And I said, we've got a new catalog in February, she's really thinking about it. And the other one I have was going to join in September, and then her husband lost his job. So she's just waiting for the finances to come, and then she will be joining as well. So it's just about making it about them, like you said, and just trying to focus on the fun and how much Scentsy brings to us.
So I got to share also, because you probably don't know. We don't know what we do. We don't know what it is. I watched you talk to Tiana and Jake at the Skowhegan Fair, and you were just excited. So you know how sometimes people say these people just sparkle? You were sparkling, and that excitement is contagious. So when you are focusing on the fun and you're excited, that's just the whole package.
And the funny thing is we've actually talked to Jake and Tiana quite a bit, and we found out that they bought Bellotta of us at an event.
Wow.
And they had met us before at another event, like 2 or 3 years ago. So it was interesting how we had that connection but didn't know it.
Right.
And they said they've been wanting to join for a long time, but they were looking for the right person to join under. And so
Yay.
it is. It's the connection,
What'd you say, Heather?
I said, voila.
Aha. Yes. Well, good job. Kudos to you. Okay. So top 10 in sales for this month so far. We still do have a couple of days left, and I am awed. I just really am. So these sales go from over 1,700 PRV to over 5,500 PRV. So Ursula Stewart. Now I'm gonna say the last names, but I'm gonna so totally apologize. Nicole Cooley, Jennifer Westcott, Ron and I, Erica. I'm sorry, Erica, if you're watching this, but I always call you Erica Macaroni. So I'm not quite sure how that would be pronounced. So maybe you'll love me just the same. Danielle Wadsworth, Heather Lambert, Joelle Drake, Valeria Paddington, and Morgan Miles. And I gotta say that Morgan Miles has been working so flipping hard. I know we all work hard, but when I have conversations with people about what they want, and then I see them go get it, I just kudos. It's exciting. And that, when you're a sponsor or a mentor, a leader, a friend, and you see people do that, so sometimes we see people say that they want to do something, but they're not willing to do the work, and you know that it's possible, but that's not as good of a feeling. But when you see somebody say what they want and they're willing to do the work, and you see their efforts, and it's awesome. I love this business. I love it. So any tips? We have some folks on here. So both, I think we have Heather and Joelle that are on the call, Zoom tonight. What tips can you share that you've been doing to help you get these massive sales?
Book ahead of time.
Yes.
So all of my parties this month were booked months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so you book them ahead of time so that you've planned, you've prepared, you've filled up your calendar before it got there, and then you run with it and you work it. so you can focus and you can start building the future calendar. So like this month, now we're looking at, December, January, February, March.
Mhm.
Even March, even April, it's not too far away to put a calendar on your party or a party on your calendar. It's not too soon. So to start thinking about, we're signing up for World Tour. I'm thinking about spring catalogs. Hello, spring catalog is coming because World Tour is coming. That means I'm going to have spring catalogs and you're going to want to book a party now. So at my parties this month, we've been booking parties for January and February and March. I have several on my calendar already. You book ahead of time. That's how you build your sales parties.
Yes.
On the calendar.
Yes. Years ago, I was taught in direct sales that you focus on 3 weeks. And I was retaught by another leader in our business. And what she says is, Melanie, you let them party when they want to party. And so that means that it at first, it seems like it's a little bit nerve-wracking. However, when you open it up to a 3 or 4 month window and you start booking parties, the momentum begins to build. And you begin, if I see some gaps, I will focus on those gaps and I'll run some booking specials to fill those gaps. Or if I'm like, for whatever reason, right short, something happened, I will do an instant booking special, or I'll do some follow-up and get some sales on my own. So yes, it's a beautiful thing.
And when you open it up too, I feel like you get more bookings. When you're at parties and you say, well, you don't have to book this month, you don't have to book next month, you can book 3 months from now in March when our new catalog comes out. And they go, oh, okay, well, yeah, that'd be all right. Their friend just had a party, they just placed an order, they're not thinking about having another party already. So sometimes sometimes they are, depending on what's going on and what promotions we have coming up. But I think if you open your calendar, they'll be more willing to book. So instead of getting 1 or 2 parties, maybe you'll get 3 or 4 or 5 parties booked because people will book way in the future. And that's okay.
And people will rebook. So the dentist theory. So we haven't talked about that, but do you ever go to the dentist without getting an appointment for your next appointment? I mean, getting a
6 months away. So yeah, totally. And it can be penciled in. You can shift and make adjustments later if you need to. But I think when you put a date on the calendar, even if it's months away, people are more likely to plan their lives around that date because there is already a commitment on the calendar. Whereas if they just say, well, I'll do a party in March, and you don't choose a date, now March comes and their life has been booked up and March is too busy and they can't make room for you. And then it gets postponed. So I think it's important not just to choose a month and say, okay, I'm going to party in March, but to actually pick a date and put it on the calendar so that they don't plan things on top of your party.
Nice.
They're more willing to hold it, to follow through.
Joelle, did you want to chime in on that?
I think, the planning ahead is really good. I also think that when, any month you need to be looking at follow-up to increase your sales. I'm looking at whether it be, for as far as sales, to increase my sales for this month, I'm probably looking at people who shopped in August or September. I'm following up with them. If I've followed up with them, for their couple of weeks or 1 month and they didn't shop before, they're probably shopping again now. The other thing is, as far as flexibility, if you, all those bookings and things like that, I wanted to talk about that for a second. I think, when you open up your calendar, if you're not like, well, you have to book, I'm only looking at November and December right now, people aren't going to be as likely to book parties with you. And even the type of parties that you want to book too. If you're only like, well, I only book shows on the go, or I only do online parties, or I only do events, or whatever that might be. Like, the more flexible you are, the more parties you're going to get, the more events you're going to get, the more sales you're going to get, the more customers you're going to get overall. I think that open-mindedness, that mindset that you keep, the more customers and parties you're going to get. The other thing is, we have speaking of mindset, we have a few more days left in the month. And just because my name is on that list, top 10 in sales, that doesn't mean I'm done. I'm not done with November. I want to do some Christmas shopping. And so like my parties might be done this month. My events might be done this month, but my sales aren't done this month. So that's the other thing. And I think sometimes people are like, well, my parties are all done, or my events are done, so I'm done. And I'm looking to the next month because, my next party is, like I'm closing a party this weekend and I have an event this coming weekend, but I'm not done, because like so let's say, I don't know, my sales are around 2,700 right now. But like I could say, well, my next benchmark then is 3,000. That's what I want. So I'm going to, get another party worth of sales so I can hit 3,000, because that's the kind of girl I am. Now if I don't hit it, I don't hit it, but that's my next benchmark. That's my next goal. I'm not done. And so I think that sometimes people, and I'm not saying like, oh, people who do that are bad. I'm just saying like, it's a mindset. It's you don't have to be done because your parties, those group activities are done. You can do your own party. You can have your own special. You can have your own gathering of orders. It doesn't even have to be a special. Hey, I'm putting in a party. Hey, I'm gathering some orders. What can I get for you? And it starts with that follow-up. How do you like your, I don't know, how do you like your very snowy spruce wax that you got with Allison's party? I'm talking with my hands. Can you see me? Geez, so-and-so got, this and they loved it. Did you enjoy it as much as she did? That kind of thing, or whatever. It's just having a conversation with someone, letting them know that you're working your business. Hey, my sign is open. My business is open today. And having that mindset that you're not going to stop. I mean, if indeed you want to work your business, I guess is my point. Sorry, I'm tired, so I'm a little like blah, blah. But
I think the point too, like Joelle's saying, the sales are out there, the numbers out there, the money is out there to be taken. All you have to do is go find it and go get it. And there are stories of consultants that got focused and sat down on the last day of the month and gathered $500,000 in sales in one day on the last day of the month. So if you want more, it's out there. You just have to find a way to find it.
So, and both of you have reminded me, we have bricks available. So the person with Very Snowy Spruce that you're following up with, hey, did you love it? Did you really, really love it? Because you could get a giant one for only $24.
And what's cool is since the prices of our bars have gone up, the brick is a huge value.
It's
now cheaper to buy a brick than it is to buy a 6-pack of wax. So like significantly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a deal to buy a brick.
Yep.
It's not just fun. It's actually saving you money.
Yeah. I love bricks because they last because they last me longer. So I usually will stock up on a few bricks, and those are the scents that I will be melting in my house. Yep. And when you're talking to somebody about Very Snowy Spruce, maybe they liked it, but it was a little bit too tree. How about Blue Christmas? We have Blue Christmas here for a little while. Is that something that you might be? So it's conversations to find out and help them expand. I had a lady want to order 3 bars of Very Snowy Spruce. And I said, well, I see that you like Very Snowy Spruce. Did you know that we had a new scent called cinnamon hollyberry? Is that what it is? Hollyberry and cinnamon.
Oh,
and
good.
Said, what have you thought? What are your thoughts about trying something like that? And she went from a 3-pack to a 6-pack, and she also asked me to send her the scents for her to look, because she hadn't really checked out all of the scents. She just goes for the ones that she goes for. And so she chose 3 Very Snowy Spruce, 2 iced pine, and 1 holly berry and cinnamon.
The
So-
other thing is I've gotten a lot of Scentsy.com orders this month,
Yes.
and they've only lived like 5 minutes away from me. So I've been following up with them. And I was just following up with a customer before here, and she had bought bars. And I said, well, the next time you want to order, let me know because I'll save you shipping. So she messaged me and she just ordered 3 6-pack of bars and a 3-pack of light bulbs. You know, and so I'm meeting with her tomorrow to get her information, the credit card information. But then I messaged someone else and she ordered pods. And I explained, I said, oh, so you got a Scentsy Go? And she goes, no, I thought these went in my wax warmers. So I ended up following up with her. I have a new set of bars on order for her, and she didn't open 2 of her pods, so we're going to do an exchange, you know, but hoping that'll lead her to come back again and again. And where she's so close, hopefully it'll be continued customers that'll come through me instead of going through Scentsy.com.
I have a Scentsy.com customer coming to pick up a basket party tomorrow.
Nice.
So if you work them and follow up and give them the information, it could turn into much more.
So here's what I think of follow-up. Follow-up is relationship building. Sometimes I hear the word follow-up and I think, what am I going to do? But really, it's all about getting to know the people and building a relationship with them. And people do business with people who they know, like, and trust. So when you are following up building a relationship, you are going to get more business. So more parties, more people joining, and more sales.
And that's what I was telling Jen when we did her launch party on Saturday evening. She's like, how do you get sales? I said, you get Scentsy out there and it'll sell itself. And it did. She had 3 people at her launch party and she had $252 in orders and 4 orders for December's warmer of the month. So she's going to be putting in another one, and her 15-day happens to be Thursday. So I challenged her to try to get another, you know, $250 in orders before Thursday so she could hit shooting star, you know, just as a, and she goes, you are right. You get it out there, people will buy it. I said, yep, they will.
Mm-hmm. Love it. I love it. So back to basic tips. Now, this is what I do. I just automatically think everybody's going to do. So if this is something that you automatically do, no big deal. However, if it's not something that you have thought about doing, so every single party that I have out there, I create a party on my workstation for them. And it's the new party page has encouraged me to ask my host more questions. Now, when you're asking questions, people love to have you ask questions of them. People love to know when you are interested in hearing what they have to say. So these next couple slides, there's going to be a lot of asking. So create a party on the workstation for everybody. Ask the host for the info on the party page. So the picture. If they're Facebooker or anyhow, I will stalk their Facebook page and grab a profile picture, because a profile picture says to me that they like that picture enough for that to be their profile, so I can steal away. Get their 3 favorite items and why those are their 3 favorite items. It makes their party on your website more personal. Ask the host when they want to close the party. So that helps you to know and them to know that there is a closing date. How many times have you passed out a show on the go and it just never ever comes back? So, and if it's a home party, how many times have you gone to the home party and they decide that they want to close a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks from the date of the party? And if you had that conversation ahead of time, you already know what's going to be happening and you can coach them around that. So rarely will I ever let it close 3 weeks from the date of the party if there were people at the party. Yes, ma'am.
So with our new party pages and things like that, one of the things I've noticed is when I put the dates of the party in the workstation, I always go several dates. I always open it today as soon as I'm doing it in the workstation, and then I go beyond the close date that we've agreed on, because as soon as that close date hits, it comes off your PWS. So sometimes I have people go, oh, let's hold it open for a day or two because what's her name's going to order online. Well, now the party's missing because the close date expired and it disappeared. So I always put the dates in the workstation. I always give a longer window than when I've planned on closing it so that that doesn't happen.
You can go in and adjust those dates if she says yes. I just
And
want
you
to know. Yes, you have to remember. So I have to do that. I have to go in and that's good.
Well, and in the past, when you opened a party, the party date was whatever the date of the party was. So if I had a party on December 2nd, I'm going to put December 2nd. But if you do that, it's not going to show up on your website until December 2nd.
Right.
So you have to put the open date as like right now, put it on my website.
Yes.
Otherwise, they're not going to show up.
Yeah, and I found, like Heather said, I started putting the close date a couple days after because I found that I was going in and I was adjusting every single date because very rarely were any of my parties closing on the exact date. The other thing, Mel, remember how we talked about on that really fun day where I had to keep going in and clicking. I thought I had to keep going in and clicking every one of those. You build a party page to get to the final stop after you'd already built your party page. Remember how we had that conversation?
Yes.
I talked to support about something else, and they said actually that's been put back in there on purpose.
Okay.
And I can't remember how they worded it, but it's been put back on purpose by tech support for a really good reason. And I wish I'd written it down.
So they need to post what the really good reason is because it takes us a lot of extra time. Well, just here's my tip. When you go to that build your party page, just click on the very bottom thing and then choose next from there. So you don't have to go through all of the steps.
It doesn't.
And that's what she told me.
Oh.
I did it today and it did not let me. It would not let me click the bottom one.
Oh, that's weird.
The bottom one didn't even show up until after I clicked through everything.
Maybe it lost some information.
Okay.
It was all there, so it's something that we're going to have to get used to.
Well, you could say, no, don't show this on PWS. Go in and fix everything and then go back and say yes.
Yes, you could do that.
Yeah, because she told me, she said, just click the bottom one and go to where you want to be.
Hold on, I got to turn my Wi-Fi
do with
off.
the whole new thing, and that people, gosh, I'll have to see if I can recall that conversation and then post it or call them back and ask again.
All right. What am I doing? What am I doing? Okay, Wi-Fi's.
Okay, side note, squirrel, these things last forever.
Oh, the roller perfumes?
I use it all the time, and there's only that much missing.
I love it.
They last forever.
What's your favorite fragrance?
I like vanilla bean buttercream.
Okay.
I would have guessed that.
Uh-huh.
And I have skinny dipping too. Those are my two. I keep them both in the shower.
In the shower?
Well, my wash in the shower, and I've got my body cream in my bathroom, and then these stay in my purse. And then depending on which I showered with that day is which one pops out.
Oh, there you go. That's awesome.
But I keep taking them to parties. So I take them out of my purse to go to the party, and then I forget, and I don't put them back in my purse. So I just found them. Anyway. Squirrel.
I love it. So I forgot one thing. So ask the host what they're working for. So when you create your event, you can actually put that in, on your party page, you can put that in if you want, or when you're creating your event, you can be talking about it. So what's everybody going to order? I want to help so-and-so get whatever it is that she wants. So, and it helps that person that's the host remember what she's working towards as well. So I PM and text the link to the party to the host. so that she can or he can send it out to their people, especially if they're not Facebookers. Even if they are Facebookers, just having that party link is powerful. And if it's a PM, it won't happen with a text, but if it's a PM and you have their picture in there, then when you send the link in the PM, that the host picture is going to show up. So I love that personalized piece. Create the Facebook event for your host. Ask them if they know how to invite their friends. So some people might not know how to invite, and ask the host who they're going to invite, a little bit of host coaching, and encourage them to private message the folks that they're inviting, because sometimes people don't pay attention to just in a Facebook invite. But if you private message them and say, hey, I'm having I'm having a Scentsy party. I would love for you to join my Scentsy party. There's some really great deals. Would you like an invite? Something like that. Yes, Heather? Is it you raising your hand?
Yeah, just so I don't forget. Because I'll think of something else and then I'll forget. But when you're talking about who they're going to invite their friends on this Facebook event, remind them not to just bulk event their entire friends list.
Ugh.
It's so important to not do that. Do not invite your entire friend.
50 people?
Yes, 30 to 50 people. No more than 50 people. So you've got to be selective about who you're inviting on this Facebook event.
Mm-hmm. And it is okay to message people who are not, so even if it's a home party, it is okay to message people who are not local, because they may want to order product as well and help you, and it'll get direct shipped. Yeah.
But so many people will do that. I have other Scentsy consultants invite me to their Scentsy parties. It's just because I'm on their friends list, and it's just like, here you go, come to my party.
I would never do that. So I'm glad you mentioned that, because I would have never said to don't do that.
Yeah.
So here's a different take. Make your Scentsy. We should smell up, right? So spray everything with room spray. Yes, you can do that too. So now, if I'm I don't have a room spray. I should have planned on it. But if I am spraying a catalog or my door prize slips with room spray, I spray it in the air and then I wave it in front of it. Because if you go, it leaves marks all over it. But if you just wave it in the air, it doesn't. That's my tip. Order forms, when you're mailing stuff, your money, people love it. Bank tellers love to get my money. Do you know how many conversations we've had? And one in particular thanks me, because I don't know how they work their stuff, but she says, oh, my cash drawer is going to smell good all week long. So I don't happen to, at the moment, be able to get an in with them, because there's somebody else who sells Scentsy within the branch. However, I'm still ever present, because what happens? Not everybody
to open a new bank account.
I know. Yeah. Label everything. People labeling, again, I've told the story before, but my label got me a new recruit. So we met really quickly outside the bank. I was going a different bank. I was going in with my basket of wax because the manager of that branch had wanted some product, and she always loved to shop my basket. And she was coming out and she saw my basket and she bought a bar, just really quick, grabbed a bar, and she paid me for it. And I didn't get her information or anything, because it was just whoosh. Guess what? She called me up. I was walking into a party, and I almost never answer my cell phone when I'm walking into a party, but I answered, and she said, hi, this is Sheila. We met at the bank. I think I want to join. But if I hadn't had my label on there, she wouldn't have joined under me. She would have gone to Scentsy.com and found somebody. So I thought that was a cool story. A new tip, I have not tried this yet, but adding your picture to your labels. Oh, yeah, Heather's got it.
I just did that a few weeks ago.
putting your picture, so people may forget what you say and what you do, but they won't forget how you make them feel. And seeing your picture reminds them how you made them feel.
So here's the other thing, is these are my old labels. Let me see if I can. Okay. So these are my old labels, just like that. And then these are my new labels. So the reason we talk a lot about personal branding now with social media and everything else. So this label looks like every other Scentsy label you will ever see on any Scentsy anything that you might get, right? So I'm just another Scentsy consultant. That's all it is. It's Scentsy. It's not me, it's Scentsy. But this is about me. It's not necessarily about Scentsy, it's about me. And so
Hold it
I'm
up
the one.
closer. Hold it up closer.
I'm the one that they need to think about. I don't necessarily want them to think about Scentsy. I want them to think about me to get their Scentsy. So it's about personal branding. It's about setting yourself apart from all the other consultants that they might run into.
That's awesome. This one was one that I learned from Heather. Keep your product order sheets on you. If somebody asks for a catalog, give them that and connect with them later at a later point to give them a catalog. So that way you get their info. And it's another connection. It takes, is it 5 or is it 7?
It's like 7. It is
7 touch points before somebody really thinks of you as their person. And so that's one more way to get them to know you, like you, and trust you.
So not only do you get their info, but 2, you sound like you are super busy and this stuff is so popular that you've run out. That's just going to make them want it more. And 3, you don't have to haul heavy catalogs around with you all the time. So it serves multiple purposes.
Yes. And they're cheaper.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm cheap. I'm okay with that. Okay. So before we go on, are there any other basic tips that we should shout out there? We have some consultants here with us. What do you got going on? What are your basic things that you do that set you apart, help you work your business better? Anything?
It's hard, Mel, like you said, it's hard to know what we do because if we've been doing it for any length of time, we just do it. And it's hard to remember all the tiny little things along the way that we do because it's just part of what we do. It's tricky.
Make connections with business owners.
Oh.
That I have one display in one store, but she is passing my cards out all the time. She's telling people when they come in and they see it, she tells them, it's really, you really need to connect with them. And she usually messages me on Facebook if anybody is looking for something. And so I make the connection that way and I'll message them. She'll be like, oh, like her landlord saw her warmer that she got from the flash sale and her landlord wanted one. Well, obviously I couldn't get that one because it was the Let It Snow one, but I messaged her and said, I'd be more than willing to help you. What are you looking for? And I said, here's my link so you can look around and see what other specials we have going on right now. I said, if you really want that warmer, I may be able to get it for you, but I'm not sure that I'll be able to get it for you as cheap as the flash sale. I said, but I will do my best. And she and I have been messaging back and forth. And also just letting your friends know, because I've had a couple of my friends refer people who are looking for Scentsy my way. And so I reward them with like a scent circle or something small to show them that I appreciate their referrals.
Referrals are big.
I have that warmer, Hannah.
I figured if I really need it, I can find it somewhere.
I'm like, what?
Dot has that one too, but I'm looking for a Milford the Moose, but that ain't gonna happen.
Oh yeah.
Do they want to pay shipping?
I don't know. They had a party going with a consultant and they wanted 4 of them and she didn't close her party in time to get them. And I met her at an event on Saturday and she goes, I'm taking your information and here's mine just in case you can find some Milford the Moose. Mm-hmm. So I can contact her.
Nice. Any other basic tips?
I always carry samples and hand them out wherever I go.
Yes, you're the scent sample ninja.
One of the things that I need to do is that little card. I want to say it was Nicole Sadie that has a card that she attaches to them. Maybe similar to that other thing that Heather showed that you had in the Believers and Achievers. Just something that's a little more than a sample.
That's how it's fit in there.
But it's kind of more interactive. That says, use this sample and contact me or do something. It's more than just, here's the sample. It's, I can't remember what it was now, but so that's my next move with the sample. It's something more. It tells them to do something next.
Did you look at the little card that we got in with our December Warmer of the Month with our samples? How they said, give out your samples, have people review them, and then a week later ask them if they really liked it and if they wanted to buy more. It was in with my samples for December.
A sample review card.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
That
I didn't
is
even
cool.
look at it.
It could be same like this, only,
Right. It could be
how'd
something,
you like it? Good, okay, horrible.
but it was another way to make that connection back to them. And if they really liked it, they might order.
Yeah. So I know it was some sort of thing to get people to come back, so to speak.
Yeah. You could always message Nicole Sadie.
Why don't you do
Yeah.
that and then post it on the group page so we can all have it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will.
I'm all about stealing tools.
So why reinvent the wheel? Yeah.
Time for that.
It was on one of my to-do lists, wherever that went. If you saw my desk, also known as an ottoman.
So this is a reminder. You're going to hear me say it a lot. What do you want? Tell me what you want, what you really, really want. So what do you want from your Scentsy business? You are the CEO of your business. You decide what you want, and then what are you willing to do to get it? Bigger paychecks come with sponsoring and bookings. Sponsoring and bookings. So sponsoring and bookings come from, and we've been talking all about this, come from connecting with people, building relationships, and following up. So at the monthly meeting this month, at the regular in-person one, I shared this little, I don't know if you can see it, it's a host lead box. So when you get door prize slips and they say that they want to join on them or they want to host, or you talk to Sally Sue and she says that she wants to host a party, but she's not quite sure when, you're going to, these are, hello, Melanie, be smarter than the box. So you're going to fill out a little card for Sally Sue, and you're going to say, okay, Sally Sue, when would be a good time to connect with you? Would December or January be better? Because, I always give people two choices. And so you put that card in January. And so when you get to January, you know that you're going to connect with Sally Sue about either having a party or joining whatever you talk to. And you can put some personal information in there. So this is a great way for you to be able to follow up in a meaningful way with the people who are looking to book parties and to join. And if a box is not your thing, they even have binders so that you can put them and separate them by month in a little mini binder. So it's just something that whatever's going to work for you. I did this when I first joined, and then I stopped doing it. And then I saw someone, I think maybe Jen posted a video or something, and I'm like, I did that. Why do we stop doing stuff that is brilliant? Why? So, host lead box. Questions on that?
Why did I stop doing that? That's my question. 'Cause mine are everywhere now.
And so you don't feel like you need to spend tons of money. So these are just the little, Post-it flappy, hello, you can't even see what I'm talking about. So the box was under $2. The cards were, oh my goodness, I want to say that they were maybe $1. And then rather than buying the little monthly dividers, I just got the little Post-it thingies that you can write on. So I'm all about saving where I can so I can spend where I want to. Okay. Let folks know that what you're working for and how they can help. I kind of shared that with you earlier with my new person story. People love to help. If they don't know that you're working towards something, so here's the thing. If you're working towards something and you're not telling people, you're missing out because you're not utilizing all the help that you have in your arsenal. So the people in your family, your friends, your hosts, everybody that you have relationships with, when you're focused on a goal, something that you're working towards, you need to be talking about it. Because if you're not talking about it, you're shooting yourself in the foot, and you're likely not going to achieve that goal because it's not in your face and coming out your face.
So a story of how to miss out. My mom, when she first joined me, her first year was we were working on the trip to Punta Cana the first time around, and she missed it by like 1,200 points, 1,000 points, something very small amount. And she went into her bank where she has customers, and she told them, yeah, I just barely missed out on this trip. And they said, Patty, why didn't you tell us you were trying to earn this trip? We'd have helped you out. And she didn't need that much, and they probably could have helped her out, and she probably would have earned the trip. So if she just said that to a couple more people before the fact instead of after the fact, it probably would have made a huge difference.
This can be your greatest gift or your worst enemy. So that's the smoocher, the mouth. So maybe if you are working,
Well, too, but you know.
Yeah, I like to smooch. My honey likes to too. Yeah, it's a good thing. 26 years, we've done a couple times. So just make sure that you are utilizing all of the people that you can. A recent post that I sent out in a private message was, I had some personal specials going on. I like to front load. I work November hard, and I like to front load December. So I have a December special, and I said to them that it was an exclusive special that I was offering to a few folks. However, I would love if you would share that with some of your folks, and if they mention your name, you're going to get something special from me. So it was, and already I had heard back from one person, and she said, I sent this on to a few folks. I hope you hear back from them, and I will be getting an order together for my mom and myself to give to you. So it's a good thing. So sometimes this last sentence actually kind of, I believe I heard Orville talk about it. Sometimes you're like, what am I doing this for? I'm doing this, I'm not noticing any results. Well, the time you invest in your business today may not be recognized for 3 months. So if you notice that, if you notice that when you are consistent, your business gets busier and busier and busier, but if you're not consistent, you've, again, shot yourself in the foot because you stopped before you could realize the efforts that you were building up. So for instance, if you build your business in a roller coaster method, you're going to have ups and downs, and it's going to feel like it's a whole lot of work, and you're going to have highs and then lows. You're going to be crushing. However, if you work your business in a merry-go-round, so you work really hard in the beginning to get it going, and then I remember doing this with my kids, or even as a kid, once you get it going, you just keep going. So you just keep working your business, and it doesn't take as much effort, but it does take effort. So working your business is flexible, but not optional. So keep doing it, and you will realize your efforts in 3 months. And sometimes you recognize them right away, but sometimes, especially if you're feeling a little bit discouraged, know that. Just keep doing it. Keep doing it. And then when you hit that 3-month mark, you'll be so pleased because you'll really realize what's happening. And you're like, oh, I'm glad I continued to do that. So if it's all right with you, I'm going to move on to leadership. I don't even know what time it is. So hopefully I'm not keeping you too long. If you've got to go, I totally get it. When it comes to leadership, be the person that people want to follow. Check your attitude. I liken the attitude thing, and I've used it before. I'll use it again. Are you an Eeyore who's blue? And who wants to hang out with an Eeyore that's blue? While I love Eeyore, I don't want to spend my days with him because he's going to bring me down. Or do you want to be like Tigger? Because Tigger is contagious. So that positive attitude is contagious. See the best in people. We get what we look for. And if you're looking for the best in people, you're going to find that best. Heather, do you have some stuff that you want to say before I continue?
I do. I was reading this book, and when you put that, I saw that on the slide, it reminded me of a little something from, what's her name? Mary Christensen.
Mm-hmm.
She says, you're either a good or a bad advertisement for your business. People judge you by your appearance, and their response can be positive or negative. There is no neutral. Imagine you're an actor auditioning for a role and you have only a few seconds to warm the casting director to you. So you must think carefully about what you wear, how you walk, talk, and act to make an outstanding impression the moment you walk on stage. You're always on stage because people are always watching.
I love it. Leave people feeling better because they connected with you. So when you leave people feeling better and they happen to look at your label with your picture on it, they're going to remember that warm, fuzzy feeling that they felt because they're like, oh, I'm so glad I bumped. Or I'm not tooting my own horn. I am a regular person. However, I have had people say to me, Melanie, I'm so glad we got together today, or I saw you today because I just feel so much better. So just that's the type of person I want to be. Now, some tips. Say that again? Oh, I don't want to talk over somebody. Use eye contact. Smile and then listen with interest. So our last Zoom, Heather talked about getting people talking and how when you get people to talk, it instantly builds rapport and they want to get to know you better because you are interested in them. They feel more valuable. So that is going to help people. Now, this is, you notice I'm saying leadership. So even if you don't have a team yet, I bet you have a posse. So that doesn't mean that you have to wait till you have a team to act like a leader. You act like a leader and people are going to want to join you. And people will naturally, those type of people will naturally gravitate towards you. So more people, we will have this huge team full of people who are positive motivation, go-getters, who lift people up, and they want to be with people like that because people do. So again, I've been given thought to what I wanted to talk about tonight. Does anybody want to have anything to add to that? Okay. So I remember, now I don't know that everybody on here wants to be a director or a star director or a superstar director, but I remember when I first joined, Becca was like my idol because it was Becca this and Becca that and Becca this and Becca that, because I was on her call and I loved her personality. She would say, do the things directors do and you'll be a director. So this slide would say, do the things leaders do and you'll be a leader, because you already are. I mean, especially if you're a mom, you're leading. If you're a friend, I bet you're leading. You know, you might be following sometimes, but you lead. So Bless you. Bless you. Okay, so this I like to remind myself of, and so if I'm reminding myself, then I'm reminding you. So let's see if we can work through this. Sales are, I need to fix that slide. Sales are your income for.
I like it. I like it as is. I think you should read it that way.
Okay, sales is your income for.
Today.
Bookings are your, bookings is your income for.
Well, you gotta put some attitude to it.
Bookings is your
income.
For when? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Okay. And sponsoring is your income for.
Ever.
Yes. 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 Because you never
Amen.
know people are going to lead you to.
Sister.
I love you guys. So pay attention. So like Hannah said, you get what you focus on. She's focused, driven on building her team and sponsoring. So right here, her balance is tipping towards sponsoring. If you have lots of parties, that's tipping toward your income towards bookings. And if you have lots of sales, just plain old sales from parties, then you're getting money for right now. However, you got nothing in the bank.
That's no problem.
So if you want to have money in the bank, you got to get some bookings, because those bookings, you're going to meet more people. It's going to open up your network. Now, those bookings could be events. It could be however it is, but you got to get where the people are. And then sponsoring, again, so the person who sponsored me is not here anymore. If Jen had not sponsored her, then she wouldn't have had a superstar director on her team. And while she didn't really click with Jen, it was an $8 room spray story. So Jen has it wrong just a little bit, but it's essentially right. So you just never know. And so when you just ask everybody, you talk to people, you listen for wants and gaps in what they have or have not. Are they looking to have more time? Are they looking to have more money? Are they looking to have more friendships? Are they looking to have more fun? And when you're talking to them, you make it about them. And when you make it about them and it's fun and you're a person that they want to spend time with, they're going to join you. Okay. So expanding your network, just a few little tidbits. On Facebook, don't just like everything. Because if you just like everything or love everything, you get in a big old mass of group of people and you have to click on it to open it up to see who did that. However, if you comment on a post, then you stand out. And if you want to stand out more, ask a question. I learned that from, is his name Bob Berg? Bob Heilig.
Bob Heilig.
I like him. So in your life, be intentional to seek out new relationships. Go inside rather than use the drive-through. Now, drive-throughs can be cool, because if you're wearing your Scentsy sweatshirt and you're talking to people, I was able to get the information from a girl at Burger King the other day.
Just make sure your car smells really, really good, so when you roll down the window, they go,
yeah. Yeah. But I mean, it's not necessarily doing great big things, but maybe changing some things. Like if you go in, so in that drive-through, I only have like 30 seconds to a minute. However, if I go in and get it, then I have more time to talk. If I sit down, then I have even more time to draw attention, and people can come to me and talk to me. If I wear my Scentsy sweatshirt or I bring my Scentsy Go, just be intentional to seek out relationships. At parties, play the cell phone game. So people may not write all of their information on their slips. It's a great idea that Heather has to put the little thing in their orders. However, if you play the cell phone game, and that means that you're going to say, take your cell phones out. At least this is how I do it. Take your cell phones out. And I I'm going to tell you my number, and I want you to text me your name and your favorite fragrance. And I pick a number, whether it's, if there's 10 people there, I'll usually pick 3 or 4. And I'll say like the 3rd or the 4th person is going to win a prize. So then they get in your phone, and then you can save them even by host. If you don't know them really well at the time, you can save it, it's so-and-so, and put the host name so that you can type in the host name, and it's going to bring up on your phone. It's going to bring up all those people so you can follow up and build relationships with them. And I will oftentimes say to people, when I'm playing this game, I'm not just your regular old used car salesman. It's not just about the sale itself. It's about the service after the sale. I want to know you today, tomorrow, next year, and I want to know how it goes. So the next thing I'll say to them is, okay, so while I have you in the room and you're here, I want you to go out on Facebook. I know y'all Facebookers. I want you to post on your wall that you're at a Scentsy party. Can I get you something? And so, and the first person who gets an order for your host gets a prize. So those are just, it's a fun way to get people to get their information in your phone and your information in their phone so they know who to contact. Questions, thoughts, ideas? Any other thoughts on expanding your network?
Speaking of parties, if you do on-the-go parties, adding the door prize slips to those. And I saw where somebody did it a little different. I was stapling them to the order forms, but I saw where somebody put them. You know how when you go to Skowhegan and you put them on a clipboard?
Mm-hmm.
I saw someone put them on a clipboard. And I was trying to think, their reasoning was really smart, but I can't remember why. Sorry. My broken sleep is really killing me.
It's okay.
Yeah, so they put them on clipboard and, of course, told the hosts if they got them all filled out that they'd earn an extra prize. And so that was cool. Maybe it was just so that the host could easily find them, all together. So, but yeah, so that's a good way to collect information for customers.
If we don't have information, we can't grow our business. We can't build relationships with those people. They're just a name at that point. And I don't like people to just be names. And I'm just a name.
And so when you said with your challenge yesterday to get 5 new friends on Facebook, I hadn't had a chance to go through and add the people from my events to Facebook yet. And so I went through, well, it was just one event at that point, I guess. Anyway, so I went and did that, and one person thanked me. She goes, "Thanks for adding me."
Nice.
And I followed up with her at the same time and said, "Hey, hope you had good thanks. Hey, nice to meet you at the event." And something else, and she says, "Great meeting you too. I was just going through the info you gave me, and we had chatted about something about how the fragrance in her house and how she was using Scentsy essentially, because she felt like it wasn't enough scent throw." And I said, "Perhaps you need to add another warmer, blah blah blah." And I said, "I'd be happy to actually come over and check things out." So anyway, but it was nice. She thanked me for adding her.
Nice.
I thought that was cool.
Yes.
But yeah, so using your door prize slips in on the go parties or at events and such.
I love it. Anything else?
Put the information, especially if they give you your email, into the workstation and sign them up for the newsletter, because they can always opt out of it.
Yes.
That way they know about the specials and sales.
That's huge. So the newsletter, getting their emails in there, that's something that Scentsy does for you. So all those people get followed up with without you having to do anything other than enter the email in there.
So, and anytime there's a big promotion, since he's pushing out extra emails to those people also. And if you enter the contact information within the party and order their stuff under their name, then if they happen to go to Scentsy.com to order in the future, then you'll still get credit for the order because you will have been the last contact and record of you being their consultant. So it's important.
Yes. We good? So this is my last slide. It's my miscellaneous slide. So holiday cutoff. Scentsy says it's the 18th. Just because it's leaving Scentsy for the 18th doesn't mean it's going to get to your person for the 18th. So be mindful of that. And some people, you don't have to stop partying just because of the holiday cutoff. You can see if people want to party, and it might not be for Christmas. It's just for fun, you know? So know that. Back orders. So this is something that Emily Bain from Maine does. So when you're setting up the party, so if you can visualize the workstation right now, and there's the party day, there's the host information, and then down here in the ship to information, it is almost always coming to me. There's 2 address lines. So the first line will auto-populate with my address, but the second line is blank. If you put the host's name there, when the box comes in originally, it's going to have that person's name on there, so you can easily identify if you have, you know, if it's really busy. However, what I'm really thankful for is if there's a back order and it's 3-4 weeks past when the parties come in and this scent pack just shows up, oh, which party does this go on? So if the host name is there, then you're gonna know that that's where you need to look. So I thought that was brilliant.
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Items sold out. So be mindful of that. I thought I saw somebody say that the down the chimney, the boots warmer was sold out, but I just looked and it's on my PWS and it's not in the list of the holiday items that is sold out. So it's just good for you to know. So even if you have events going right now on Facebook and you got parties that are coming up or shows on the go out there, you can post those things because you don't want somebody, you know, anticipating that they're going to get this and not get it, or maybe they have a different holiday item and they might go do their order right now, so their order doesn't get sold out. So just be mindful of that. And again, before you go to a party, be sure to look at that. World Tour registration. You gotta go. They're all over the country. So there should be one within like 3 to 4 hours of you. And if you have been or have never been, it is, I would dare say, a mini reunion. It doesn't last as long as reunion does. However, the quality of training, the networking that you can do, the items, your kit is always going to be equal or more than your registration. So it's a total win.
This kit is going to be amazing, I think. You are not going to want to miss it. I have a feeling.
Yeah. You can bring somebody with you. So if you have a host or somebody who's thinking maybe about joining, or maybe even you have a friend who you just talk to all the time about it, bring them. It's only, I think, $25. So
yeah. And they get a $25 prize.
Yeah. Yeah. So Scentsy is even generous enough that the person who's coming is still getting their money back, if you will, in Scentsy. Family reunion registration, I believe, and I'm so sorry, I should have looked this up, but I believe that early bird ends in December, early bird pricing. So I would look. So if you're thinking that you're going to reunion, the cool thing is that you can sign up for the budget one, and it's not going to be big chunks. It's going to be small amounts. It's going to be taken out. So it gives you more time to be able to save to go. again, we should look in events. I will look and post later, but I think it's in December that early bird pricing ends. And what else? What else? We've talked about a lot.
So World Tour, for those of you that are fairly new and maybe went to World Premiere last year, know that World Tour is a very different event than World Premiere. And it is definitely something you do not want to miss.
Agreed.
And if anybody wants to get out of the cold weather and come down to Florida, I'll be in Orlando. Happy to drive you and carpool to the event.
I hear you even have a spare bedroom.
I do.
Only special people get to stay.
Florida, yes. Yeah. It's in his office, but he shares.
Nice. Nice. After I said that, I'm like, oh my gosh, 300 and some odd people could be watching this, or could be on YouTube, because we're going to be posting this recording.
Bring your tent. You can pitch it in the backyard.
That's right. I forget. You can tent all year round.
Sure. We have a trampoline. You can sleep on the trampoline. That could be fun.
Well, look at the stars.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So I cannot believe that it's November 28th. Where does the time go?
Way too fast.
So while I have you here, can I have you share a nugget that you learned tonight on the call, or something that you learned this week that you're like, it's a golden nugget. It's a good thing that you heard it, because it's something that's going to be good for you. So if you would please share.
I am, all those things that you used to do that work so great and then you forget about them because you try new things. I'm going to remember to play the cell phone game at my party on Saturday.
Yay.
I'm going to put our picture on our labels now.
Yes.
Room spraying money. I keep forgetting to do that. I do my catalogs and order forms, but I keep forgetting about my money.
So it also works if you keep a sample of wax in where you keep your bills. That works.
Good idea.
That works too. Then you don't have to worry about spraying it. It's just always in there.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
The whole wallet, when you open it up, it's like,
woo!
So that works too.
Yes.
One of those old nasty samples, and they've been sitting around too long and they all gross. You could just stuff that in your wallet. And
yeah, that's a good idea.
My thank you notes, I print off thank you notes ahead of time, and then I put my samples, I make those up ahead of time, and I put those all in a baggie so that my thank you notes smell like the scent of the month.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have to spray those. We lost a couple people on the way. We're really long, I think.
Yeah, you just store stuff with the samples and it will smell good.
Yes.
My wallet smells good because I keep samples in my bag, and then my phone. Sometimes my phone smells.
Nothing with food.
Yeah, not with food.
Yeah.
Right. I did that one. So I took samples to work and I put them in my desk drawer. And then a couple of days later, I was hungry for a snack, and I had a package of Ritz crackers in my drawer, and I thought, oh, that will make a great snack. And so I took a bite of my Ritz cracker, and it tasted like very snowy spruce.
Oh, not yummy. Not yummy.
It was the most disgusting thing I've ever tasted in my life.
Sugar cookie, maybe.
It was so gross.
Yeah.
It was like infused in the cracker. Like it was, off. I couldn't. Oh, so bad.
So I really liked, I know I posted it, and I printed them off to use as door prize slips when I needed a pinch. However, tossing them in bags or handing them out with samples, that's brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to have to make a lot of these copies.
Well, it's a good thing you got a bunch to a page, right?
Yeah, like, I think I have 8 on a page.
Yeah.
I gotta find a way to put join on there though. I'm gonna figure it out.
Okay, let me know if you need me to play around with it. You're pretty thrifty though.
Put like a little circle or something that just says, I don't know, something.
Okay.
I'll figure something out.
Okay. In case you hadn't noticed, we are all in the join mode because we want to build. we want to get on the boat, and we also want bigger paychecks. And again, money for now, money next month, money forever. We like the money forever, bigger money forever.
Dave says he's retiring when he's 50, so I need
How
to get
old is he now?
He just turned 44.
Okay.
I have 6 years to replace his income.
Okay.
I better get busy.
It's doable. It's doable.
He just started a new job. I'm going to have to work hard.
That's awesome. Any other golden nuggets?
I love everybody sitting and stares at each other.
I
Yeah.
know. Who's gonna talk? Who's gonna talk? And none of you know who I'm looking at. Oh. Okay, I'm gonna stop the recording. So, thank you for being here. You don't have to go, just so you know, but I want to thank you for being here. And if you're watching this later, thank you for investing in yourself. And please, let us know what you get out of tonight, because it's important. We as leaders want to know that the things that we're doing are making an impact in your world and that we're on the right track. So have a blast. We still have a couple days left of November. So go out strong. Don't be done yet. I love that Joelle said that. Don't be done yet. Don't be done yet. I ain't done yet. Okay. And thanks again. Bye for now.